Hello and a warm welcome to South Asia Today, where we bring you in-depth insights into the key events shaping South Asia. I am Pratiksha Mishra and here are today's top stories. Uttarakhand's education revolution empowering every child. Yokohama city celebrates Chinese New Year with grandeur. And students in Gilgit-Baltistan protest poor grades amid failing education system. Let's begin the show. Uttarakhand is a land of stunning landscape and it stands as a shining example of educational advancement. With innovative initiatives, the state is ensuring learning reaches every corner, uplifting underprivileged communities, especially girls. A shining example is the Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Residential Hostel, a sanctuary for deprived children, offering free education, food and care, helping them step into a brighter, empowered future.
Known for its breathtaking landscapes and rich cultural heritage, Uttarakhand continues to make the nation proud, reaching new heights across various sectors. The state is making remarkable strides in the education sector, introducing innovative initiatives to ensure learning reaches every section of society. The state and central government schemes are not only modernizing education but also emphasizing skill development among students. These efforts are empowering underprivileged communities, especially girls and deprived children, paving the way for a brighter future. One such example is the Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Residential Hostel established by the Uttarakhand government. This hostel is nothing short of a blessing for underprivileged children, providing a platform to bring them into the mainstream, especially those who were deprived of education or lacked parental support. Here, children are provided with free education, food, uniforms, and books, along with a strong focus on their mental and emotional well-being.
मुझे आज तक हॉस्टल में किसी भी चीज़ की कमी नहीं हुई है, ना खाने में ना कपड़ों में, हर चीज़ की मुझे फैसिलिटी मिलती है यहाँ पे।
ये हमारा संकल्प है ऐसे प्रदेश के अंदर जो हमारे अन्य छात्रावास ऐसे संचालित हो रहे हैं, उन सभी में अच्छी सुविधाएं मिले, बच्चों को आगे बढ़ने का अवसर मिले।
This initiative is breathing new life into dreams that were left incomplete due to financial struggles. Currently, 19 such hostels are operational in the state, shaping the future of over 1,000 children. The Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya scheme introduced by the central government has been effectively implemented in Uttarakhand. This scheme provides free and quality education to girls aged 11 to 18. The state has 39 such schools where girls receive education along with hostel facilities, food and other essential amenities. Additionally, they are being trained in music and sports to make them more empowered and self-reliant. This initiative promotes girls' education and gender equality.
कंप्यूटर से लेकर स्पोर्ट्स टीचर से लेकर किसी टीचर्स की यहाँ कमी नहीं है। एकदम इतने अच्छे तरीके से हमें यहाँ पढ़ाते हैं, हमें शिक्षित करते हैं।
हम पढ़ने के अलावा अदर एक्टिविटीज़ भी करते हैं, जैसे स्पोर्ट्स के गेम, जो हमारा एनपीपी डांस होता है, डांस में करते हैं, स्पोर्ट्स करते हैं, विज्ञान ड्रामा, विज्ञान एक्टिविटीज़।
Through PM Shri schools and government inter-colleges, children in Uttarakhand are also being provided with vocational education and skill development opportunities, enabling them to enhance their abilities along with academics. A total of 531 such schools are currently focusing on skill-based education, with 272 more set to launch soon. PM Shri School's modern technology is being used to train students, and smart classes are helping them understand subjects in an engaging way.
हमें स्मार्ट टीवी वगैरह और प्रोजेक्टर के द्वारा पढ़ाया जाता है, तो हमें उसे पढ़ने में समझ में भी आता है और हमें अच्छा लगता है पढ़ने में.
Currently, 225 PM Shri schools are running in the state. This initiative plays a significant role in preparing children, especially those from rural and economically weaker backgrounds, for employment and self-reliance.
हमारे स्कूल में कई लैब्स हैं, जैसे हमको हमारे स्कूल में आईटी, वोकेशनल एजुकेशन और हमको मल्टी स्किलिंग और हमको कला की भी हमको एजुकेशन दी जाती है.
Additionally, Rajiv Gandhi Navodaya Vidyalayas in the state are providing quality education and building a strong foundation for students' bright future. These schools boast excellent infrastructure and modern teaching facilities, ensuring a well-rounded learning experience. A standout feature of these institutions is their special emphasis on English language training, equipping students to compete not only at the national level but also on the international stage. Thanks to these government initiatives and schools, thousands of children now have a promising future. The government's efforts to integrate underprivileged children into the mainstream through education are truly commendable. Uttarakhand has demonstrated that with the right policies and strong determination, transformative changes in the education are possible. These advancements are not only shaping the future of students but also contributing significantly to the state's overall development.
Yokohama city recently lit up with the grand celebration of Chinese New Year. Yokohama's Chinatown dazzled with stunning performances and beautifully decorated lanterns, marking a vibrant welcome to the Year of the Dragon. With deep-rooted Chinese heritage dating back to the mid-19th century, this cherished tradition was briefly halted during the pandemic. However, strong public demand has brought it back, making it more spectacular each year.
The Chinese New Year celebration was recently held in Yokohama City, featured stunning performances and beautifully decorated lanterns. Yokohama Chinatown welcomed the New Year with traditional ceremonial performances. In the mid-19th century, the Japanese government opened the country to the world, leading many Chinese immigrants from mainland China and Taiwan to settle in Yokohama and integrate with Japanese society. The Chinese New Year ceremony began in 1986 as a symbol of a harmonious and inclusive civil society beyond national origins. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the event was suspended, but due to strong public demand, it was revived and has grown more vibrant each year.
日本のこの横浜中華街は世界一の中華街と呼ばれているので、今年は初の試みが多くて、今日行われるナイトパレードウィズランタン、指針、白骨、朱雀、玄武、青龍が一緒にパレードを練り歩く。イベントが途切れないよう力を合わせて頑張っている。
This year's celebration is the decoration with beautiful lanterns made in Sichuan, China, and brought to Yokohama.
横浜のベイエリア約45会場にこういった大きい中華の伝統工芸のランタンオブジェがありまして、いろんなところで美しいランタンオブジェを見ていただくことができます。獅子には邪を払い福を招くという故事がありまして、獅子に頭を噛まれると悪いものを獅子が食べてくれて、で福が訪れるということになりますので、皆さん獅子舞が来たらこうやって頭を出していただいて噛んでいただいてます。
It's really good to see another culture and the way different colors, different dances. So it's really exciting and thrilling to see that.
Especially I like all the dancing and the colors, and actually the dragons, the flying dragons. That was very impressive, very nice.
The Chinese New Year event strengthened the bond among volunteer performers and promoted a peaceful society, a feeling that could be shared by all attendees.
Now we take a look at some happenings in Asia in our segment called Asia Watch. British Trade Secretary Jonathan Reynolds and his Indian counterpart Piyush Goyal visited a crafts museum in New Delhi. The two ministers took stock of diverse and colourful weaving traditions, sculptures and handcrafts pieces as they interacted with artisans at National Crafts Museum and Hastkala Academy. The museum nestled in the Indian capital consists of around 29,000 specimens in multitudes of crafts procured over a long period from various states of the country. The visit comes as the two trade ministers resumed talks on a UK-India trade deal with 2 days of focused discussions. In the bustling city of Karbala in Iraq, a tile-making workshop, established in 1967, takes pride in creating traditional decorative calligraphy and intricate patterns on ceramic tiles. The decorative tiles made of clay have been part of Karbala's artistic heritage for hundreds of years, where they can be found in mosques and holy shrines. The tiles are shaped, dyed and then placed in an oven and heated to 900 degrees Celsius, increasing their durability and lifespan. But the rise of mass-produced imported tiles have affected the precision of the artwork and the Arabic writings on it, Ahmad lamented. Among the shrines decorated with the ceramic tiles is the historical site of Imam Abbas Shrine. As new buildings rise around the shrine, the walls and ceilings continue to be decorated with the unique artwork, preserving the tradition and cultural heritage. Thousands of protesters gathered in central Madrid last week to demand better public education and oppose government cuts. Marching with banners reading, "Let's save public education, its privatization is our ruin," participants voiced strong opposition to policies led by Regional President Isabel Diaz Ayuso. Diaz Ayuso's education policies have drawn criticism amid a sharp rise in private vocational education enrollments in recent years due to a lack of public school spaces. This trend has fueled concerns about further privatization, with protesters arguing that the absence of sufficient public education options disproportionately impacts students. The protest, which also saw university students joining the demonstration for the first time, highlighted deepening frustrations over a funding gap between Madrid's educational institutions and their counterparts across Spain. In the heart of Gilgit-Baltistan, a crisis looms as corruption erodes the foundation of education. In Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan, students are taking to the streets to protest their disappointing grades, shining a light on critical issues within the education system. Inadequate infrastructure, a lack of qualified teachers, and insufficient funding have all contributed to the decline in academic performance. With children's futures at stake, if this issue remains unaddressed, the region faces a grim future with potential loss to greed and neglect. We have a report.
The education system in Gilgit-Baltistan is in a state of emergency, with the government facing intense scrutiny over the shocking failure rates of students in grades 5 and 8. Despite being a region celebrated for its stunning natural beauty, many students are trapped in a cycle of underachievement due to a lack of essential educational resources and support.
अगर गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के एजुकेशन की बात की जाए तो ये पहली मरतबा नहीं है कि गिलगित बल्तिस्तान का महकमा तालीम का पोल खुल गया हो। इससे कबल जो इंटर के इम्तिहानात हुए थे उसमें भी स्टूडेंट्स की भरमार थी जो कामयाबी हासिल नहीं कर सके थे। तो इसी तरीके से इस साल भी जो पंजुम क्लास और हश्तम क्लास है उसके तकरीबन 60% और 70% जो तलबा है वो कामयाब नहीं हो सके हैं। और इन मामलात के ऊपर हमारी सिविल सोसाइटी भी, हमारी जो मीडिया है वो भी बार बार निशानदेही करती रही है बहुत सारे चीज़ों की।
In the wake of protest over poor results, students across Gilgit-Baltistan have taken a stand. In Chilas, they rallied against the administration, demanding a retake of the grades 5 and 8 exams. They highlighted inadequate facilities and a shortage of teachers as major obstacles to their educational success and performance.
जो सबसे बड़ा मसला दरपेश आ रहा है वो ये है कि थोड़ा सा अहल जो भी बंदा है, थोड़ी सी उसको सबक पढ़ाने की सलाहियत उसके अंदर आ जाती है तो वो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के अंदर आ जाता है। इस वक्त गिलगित बल्तिस्तान एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट में अगर आप देखें तो तमाम जो अच्छे टीचर्स थे वो आके एडमिन स्टाफ के अंदर बैठे हुए हैं, डायरेक्टर्स बन के बैठे हैं, मुख्तलिफ पोस्टों पे बैठे हैं, जिसकी वजह से जो एजुकेशन को डिलीवर उन्होंने करना था वो डिलीवर उनको वहाँ पे नहीं हो रहा है और मैनेजरियल पोस्टों पे बैठे हुए, जाहिर बात है वहाँ पर मरात और गाड़ियाँ मिलती हैं, तो उन मरात और गाड़ियों की वजह से पूरा महकमे का एक जो स्ट्रक्चर है उसको दाव पर लगाया गया है।
In the Gilgit-Baltistan Education Department, the promotion of skilled teachers to administrative roles has critically undermined education quality as they can no longer teach. Meanwhile, higher officials prioritize perks over progress, jeopardizing the department's effectiveness and ultimately depriving students of a quality education essential for their future.
दूसरी जानिब अगर हम गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के डेवलपमेंट बजट को भी हम देखें तो देगर सूबों के मुकाबले में जीबी में एजुकेशन के लिए जो एलोकेशन है वो सबसे कम है। अगरचे गिलगित बल्तिस्तान का बजट भी कम है तरक्याती हवाले से, लेकिन जो एलोकेशन का परसेंटेज है वो भी आप देखें तो गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में सबसे कम है। और एक साथ में आप फिर देखें आपका जो गैर तरक्याती बजट है उसकी मद में 10 अरब से ज़ायद अखराजात सिर्फ एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट के मुलाजिमीन के तनख्वाहों की मद में जाता है। तो रेशनलाइजेशन इस डिपार्टमेंट के अंदर कहीं पे भी नहीं है, जिसका जो जी चाहा वो किया जाता है और 2-2, 3-3 महीनों तक के प्रोजेक्ट्स यहाँ पर लेके आते हैं। हालांकि एजुकेशन ऐसा निज़ाम नहीं है, एजुकेशन एक लॉन्ग टर्म मंसूबा है जहाँ पे सदियाँ भी लगती है, साल लगते हैं कई, जिसके बाद जाके चीज़ों का रिजल्ट सामने आना होता है।
Corruption in the Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan Education Department remains rampant, significantly impacting student outcomes. With already limited budget allocations, much of the available funding is siphoned off by corrupt officials. Additionally, harsh geographical conditions and a lack of basic facilities like heaters in schools distract students from their studies, further diminishing their chance of success.
बदकिस्मती हमारी ये है कि हमारा अभी तक रुख का तयन नहीं हो गया है। हमारा किताब कौन सी है, कहाँ पे बन के आती है, किसके अप्रूवल से बन के आती है, हमारा गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के साथ इन तमाम चीज़ों का कोई ताल्लुक ही नहीं है। हमारे ऊपर एक हिसाब से ठोंस दिया जाता है और यहाँ से जो कोई तजवीज़ चली भी जाती है तो पता नहीं कागज़ की शक्ल में किसी कोड़े के डब्बे में वो पैक हो जाती है, बंद फेंक दी जाती है, तो उनकी कोई हैसियत नहीं बनती है। तो ज़रूरत इस अमर की है कि गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में असरनो इन तमाम चीज़ों का जायज़ा लिया जाए। जो असातिज़ा भर्ती होकर आज डायरेक्टर्स बने हुए हैं उन सबको वापस भेज दिया जाए और बजट एलोकेशन से लेके हमारे स्कूलों की जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, बहुत सारे ऐसे एरियाज़ है जो हमारे क्लाइमेट रेजिलिएंट स्ट्रक्चर उनकी डिमांड है लेकिन नहीं होता है। बच्चे साल भर अगर बाहर सर्दी के अंदर उनको पढ़ाया जाता है तो जाहिर बात है वो अपनी सर्दी से निमटने की कोशिश ही करेंगे, पढ़ने की कोशिश उस वक्त नहीं की जा सकती है। तो तलबा को फैसिलिटेट करने के लिए इन इक़दामात को उठाने की ज़रूरत है, बजट को रेशनलाइज करने की ज़रूरत है।
If this persistent corruption and neglect continue, the people of Gilgit-Baltistan will face not only educational decline but also a bleak future, stunting progress and opportunity for generations to come.
Nepal's sacred Pashupatinath temple is abuzz with devotion as thousands gather to celebrate Mahashivratri. Entry gates lead to the beautifully adorned temple draped in vibrant flower garlands. Ascetics from India and Nepal reside in ashrams within the premises, adding to the spiritual fervour. Across the country, Shiva temples are crowded with worshippers offering incense, lamps, milk and sacred water, honouring Lord Shiva on this auspicious occasion. Have a look. Nepal's Pashupatinath temple, the revered Hindu pilgrimage site, came alive with devotees and ascetics on Mahashivratri. Entry gates have been set up leading to the main temple complex, which has been decorated with flower garlands, further embellishing the area and attracting more devotees. Ascetics from various parts of India and Nepal have gathered and are staying at Annapurna Bhandar, Swargadwari Ashram, Nirmala Akhada and Paramananda Ashram, all located within the Pashupatinath temple premises. On this holy occasion, Shiva temples across the country are crowded with worshippers. Hindu devotees presented incense sticks, lamps fueled with butter and oil, milk, sacred water and various offerings to Lord Shiva, one of Hinduism's principal deities.
गरियो भगवानको दर्शन गरियो दर्शन गर्न आइयो हैन यहाँ आएपछि यो पुण्य स्थलमा आएपछि टेके पनि स्वर्ग हुन्छ राम्रो हुन्छ भन्नाले हामी आएको हो यस लोकमा सुख शान्ति परलोकमा मुक्तिको बाटो खोज्दै
Mahashivratri, the night dedicated to Lord Shiva, falls on Wednesday this year with an estimated 1 million pilgrims expected at Pashupatinath temple. Traditional music and dance performances are held at the Kailashkut and Kirteshwar music ashrams. Devotees from Nepal and neighbouring India come together at Pashupatinath for darshan and celebrations.
एकदम उत्साहपूर्ण वातावरण छ श्रद्धालु भक्तजनहरूको उपस्थिति एकदम राम्रो छ र भगवान पशुपतिनाथको शिवरात्रिको पहिलो दिनमा भगवान शिवजीको जन्मदिन मानिन्छ शिवरात्रिलाई त्यसको पहिलो दिनमा चाहिँ भगवानको दर्शन गर्न पाउँदा अत्यन्त खुसीका साथ यहाँ दर्शनयात्रीहरूको चाहिँ उपस्थिति भएको देखिन्छ त्यसमध्ये म पनि एउटा भगवानको दर्शनार्थी हुँ र अब विगत सालभन्दा अब आजको उपस्थिति अझ उत्साहप्रद लागिरहेको छ
One of Nepal's major festivals, Mahashivratri or Night of Shiva, is celebrated on the 14th day of the dark fortnight of the Magh month in the Hindu lunar calendar. To ensure security, the Nepal police has implemented special measures in the Pashupati area, with the Kathmandu Valley Police Office preparing a security plan since Monday night. The grand celebrations of Mahashivratri at Pashupatinath temple reflect the deep devotion of pilgrims and ascetics as well as the enduring spiritual and cultural significance of this sacred festival in Nepal. As we wrap up today's episode of South Asia Today, we thank you for joining us. We'll return next week at the same time with more insights and updates. This is Pratiksha Mishra signing off on behalf of the entire team of South Asia Today. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.